appropriately, we are starting off our G2E CEO one-on-one interviews with James Maida, who in founding Gaming Labs International several years ago effectively invented an industry. And because you get to see the whole technology side, you have a bird's eye view of some of the trends that are happening. So can you speak to us a little bit about the trends that you're currently seeing in gaming technology?
I think the first thing that we're really seeing this year is a lot more games, a lot more content, and the gaming suppliers are really starting up more studios and having almost a competition between studios. So it's studio versus studio, game content versus game content, and I think they've really ratcheted up to the next level. We'd like to see more skill games. We've seen a few come through the lab, and they've been working okay, but we're still waiting for the players to really adopt this new idea of skill gaming. With the white paper that just recently came out about skill gaming, hopefully we'll start seeing some more content. But you just can't make content to make content. What you have to do is you have to figure out what the players are going to want to play.
Skill-based gaming really was the buzzword at G2E last year, and you spoke a little bit about it, but moving forward, if that content comes to fruition, how do you see the rollout of skill-based games across casinos moving forward?
Some of the games have already come to us, and they're very novel and very fun to play. It's just a question about, do you play them quickly enough? Is there enough money coming in terms of to the drop, right? So they can come up with a really smart game that really is engaging to people, but unless it works at the end of the day where there's enough money coming to the drop and the casino is profitable enough, that's where I think things will change dramatically. I still think we're in this area where the concepts are there, but they're not really ready for commercialization.
Now, are there other, outside of skill-based, we hear a lot of other types of ancillary gaming. We hear this Dave & Buster's model. You have, daily fantasy sports. You have iGaming. You have a lot of other types of gaming outside of the traditional slots and tables. Does GLI have a perspective on that as we move forward?
So we test daily fantasy sports for those states where it's regulated. Dave & Buster's where it's regulated. So we will only test in more regulated markets. I think that really to see a big change in the United States, we're going to need to see some clarity on whether it's sports betting, sports wagering, daily fantasy sports, and the whole iGaming question about whether it's legal or not legal in each of the states. That has to clearly expand. We've seen expansion in Europe, we've seen expansion in the Philippines and in Asia. Obviously, Australia has put a partial ban in place. South America, Latin America is now starting to get more iGaming in place. So I think really the next big moving event will really be around this type of iGaming, internet-based gaming in the United States when it becomes more legal in terms of where the legal area is clearly defined.
Okay. And GLI has added an array of services, and what does that say about the company and where it's going as we move ahead?
So GLI is really organized into, in our gaming division, we're really organized into two areas, right? We're the traditional testing and certification of gaming equipment. We also test voting equipment now. We're the largest testing lab in the United States on voting equipment. We also do a lot of certification work for health information systems as well. That's all in our certification division. And then on the other side, through our Bulletproof brand, in our Bulletproof division, we have, in the past year, done some acquisitions and really looking at more of the consulting and the services and the QA testing side. If you think about it, it's those non-required services that every operator and every supplier wants to do. So we do ISS, we do security, breach intrusion, we run a SOC, security operations center to figure out when people are intruding into other systems. And we're doing a lot more interoperability. We've come out with an idea of our interoperability not only between systems and the slot machines, but the systems to the back end of the house. So many systems are having trouble connecting to the back end of the house that is a new area that we're very involved in.
Great. And I had a chance to ask you a little bit ago, but what's one thing that you're looking forward to seeing on the show floor when it opens tomorrow?
I think I'm really looking to see, we've seen most of the content. The lab gets the content 6 to 9 months before we see it on the show floor, so there should be nothing massively new down there, but I know that people, last year we saw some virtual reality where people put on some goggles, and so there's always going to be those things on the show floor that people are trying out to see, whether or not there is any, everybody's really going to want to try that type of gaming. So there's always those things that are on the cusp. But every year I come back and we talk about, well, you talked about this last year and we're not quite there yet. I think things like skill gaming, server-based gaming, if you remember 10 years ago, these things are just not one-year events. It takes many years to figure it out, and then commercializing it might take a lot longer. So tomorrow I'm really just looking at all the new products that we're testing or that we will test and try to understand where is this industry really going.
Well, James, we appreciate you taking the time to sit with us and giving us that unique insight that you have with the GLI.
Thank you for having me today.